There's so much you learn in 2 years and so much real world experiences and so much asked of you. And you really feel like you're already on the job for the most part. And I think with that, my journey going through this program really helped me understand more real life concepts and what to expect and how to be a better employee and do the job that I love and really help hone my craft.
It's made me more confident in what I am and more confident in what I do, to not only do that behind the mic, but also in front of hundreds of people.
It really opened my mind to, like, especially when it came to editing. I was like, whoa. And then just trying out like all these different like camera and equipment.
How you treat school directly relates to how you're going to treat your work because it's the same thing. Like the way your professors expect things from you and have deadlines is going to be the same thing when you come to work. So, like your hustle mentality that you have now, keep that.
Just because you're in audio and video doesn't always necessarily mean you'll always end up just behind the camera or just behind the mic. There are so many more different avenues that can be taken just in this particular field.
I grew up in radio, and with that, I fell in love with it, and I decided that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I was able to find the broadcasting program at Forsyth Tech, and joining there is really what jumped me into where I am now. And I was able to move up through the ranks, and I landed a job on the morning show, which is my dream job. And now I am the sole host of the morning show.
It's been a long road, but it's been really cool because I've been able to jump to so many different opportunities. Right when I left school, I started working at the school, but I also worked part time at WXII. And then, so after I took a full time role there, I was behind the scenes production assistant, using the same knowledge that I learned at school, all the camera operating and editing. I used all of those same skills, and then I was able to transition to the next phase.
We more or less focus on maintaining all of the equipment that we use, from the cameras that are used by photojournalists to the actual systems that we use to run our day-to-day operations and our newscast.
I'm an on-air host. I host an evening show Monday through Friday from 7 to 11. And then I also am in charge of all of the production and all of the music at Joy FM.
Everything essentially trickles down to accounting. Nothing happens on set without accounting knowing about it because we have to pay for it. So I do have kind of my hands in, well, even though I just do SAG, I have done AP, which is vendors. I have done crew payroll, which is paying the actual crew. So you do get to see kind of like how things move around and how things get paid for and how things get done, deadlines, rentals, things like that.
My current position is a news photojournalist. We really love to like shoot like featurey type stuff when we do story, because it was like a typical news story, but we want to like change it. Like, let's make it exciting. How can we make this really stand out?
The biggest thing you can do is focus and work hard. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. If you ask more questions, you'll get more answers. I know that all I ever did was knock on some teacher's door and bother them about something all the time. I know I annoyed people, but I feel like you get farther when you're curious and you're willing to learn. And so that's the biggest thing you do is if you're going to be a part of it, dive in, dig in, give it your all.
Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure that you want the career in itself, whatever it is. If it's performance, you want to be on TV, you want to be on the radio, you want to be an announcer, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
There's a lot of talented people that can work through production, work through the audio, has a really good voice, whatever. But how can you make that your own? And how can you better yourself to show that you step out a little bit different than others?
So always stay connected with the other classmates just because you may need each other one day or you guys can come together and form a group one day. And that's so powerful and so important.
So you have like a passion for like radio or shooting videos, whether it's for news or commercial or even like writing. Just go try it out.
It's just been trial and error, growing, learning, in multiple different ways, not just, with the technical aspects, but with your own personal self. You have to learn to grow. You have to learn different ways of maturing, different ways of finding solutions, different ways of being a team player. Because in this particular field, everybody is a family and everybody is connected.
I was nominated a couple years ago for an ACM award, which in my industry is pretty huge in country radio, and so to the Academy of Country Music. And I got to go and fly out and represent my company and my morning show, and it was a huge honor.
Becoming the first ever Marty Falbell Fellow for Hearst Television, being an engineer.
I'm thankful that it also provides a living for myself and my wife. And it took a lot. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication and a lot of moving pieces, but it's definitely a worthy opportunity to get in something involved like this, especially if you love it.
I got nominated for Emmys, and I also won it last year of summer of 2024. It was really, really exciting.
My name is Brianna Lagarde, and I'm a proud graduate of Forsyth Tech.
I'm a proud Emmy winner from Forsyth Tech.
Because I went through Forsyth Tech, I now have a wonderful job at Joy FM.
I'm a former radio personality, current television news anchor, and I got here all because of the experience at Forsyth Tech.
I got into broadcast engineering, and it's all thanks to the people at Forsyth Tech.
So thank you, Forsyth Tech, for everything.